Hello, hello, hello. We are live, you guys, on Facebook audio. It is Friday, so you are here with me for Queen Talk Friday. As we adjust the crown, you are with me, Coach V of theveronicamichelle.com, and I'm so glad you're here today. And I wanted to start today by talking about the power that we have to control the happiness that we see in our lives. And I wanted to introduce you to or reintroduce you to a book entitled The Power of Positive Thinking, and it's by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. And in that book, there are some principles that he goes over that talks to you about how do I want to put it, how in control we are of the direction of our lives in regards to the way we perceive things, the mindset that we go about life with, and just the choices that we make. And so it's so impactful when you think about we are in control of what we do all day, every day. But the one thing that we seem to give up our power on is the mindset that we carry around with us. And it's the beginning of every decision that we make. It's the beginning of the way we feel about ourselves, the way we interact with other people. It really is the beginning of everything that we do when we think about if we're happy with our life or if we're happy with the decision that we made. And so if we just get real for a moment, we know that there are definitely the decisions that we've made that some we're happy with, some we should have done other things or different things with, right? But of course, there are already decisions that are made. So we have to give ourselves permission to grieve those choices that we made and then be in preparation for making better choices or different choices later on down the line. So one big tip and takeaway from that book is to be kind to yourself and to really give yourself permission to say, I made that choice or I didn't make a choice, which is still making a choice. Because a lot of us procrastinate on the decisions that we want to make because we stay in a place of contentment, which in some ways builds up resentment for the life that we're living. And so be kind to yourself in recognizing that we always have the opportunity every second of the day that we're alive to make a different choice. And we always have the opportunity to find something to be happy for and to be in gratitude of that's going on in our life right now. So I'll give you an example. I had a situation this week with my car and I needed a new transmission, and just sitting in the car in the Pep Boys, sitting there and just writing in my journal that the outcome of this is going to be positive, and I have the power to create the decisions and the choices that are going to happen for me, and I'm just giving that power to myself that whatever they come back and say, I'm not going to be in a space of anger or frustration because it's all going to work out in my favor. And what happened was, needing a new transmission, when he came back to speak to me, I left out and immediately called to the dealership who's handling the finances for the car. And lo and behold, I was paying for a warranty that gave me coverage to pay a deductible, and they would cover the rest. But it gets even better than that, because being in a space where I know nothing happens to me, is all happening for me. And that's credit to my former coach that I had over at Mind Shift Life, Rashida Gay. And she gave me that statement one day when I was rushing to meet with her, have a virtual meeting with her. And I said, I'm working and things are just going, like, getting all in my way. And she said, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And so I always carry that around ever since that day. And in that, going back to the transmission story, it went from me having to do a deductible to them recognizing that and finding that the dealership, the manufacturer of the car, had an extended warranty that they put out back in 2010 for this transmission. And so I ended up getting a rental car and not having to pay anything for the transmission to be replaced. Not repaired, but replaced. So I say that to say there's so much power behind our intention to be happy, in our intention to see the best in every situation, and in our intention to know that we have power in what happens, what influences us, and what motivates us throughout the day. So if we're in a space of negativity and jealousy and hatred and just disdainment for what life looks like to us right now, those are all of the things that we attract back to ourselves. And so if you're familiar with the laws of attraction, and I won't go too much into the laws of attraction, but if you're familiar with that, it says that we are the magnet to what we bring in. So whatever you are in your life, whoever you are in your life, or whatever you are internalizing in your life, that's what you're attracting. And so when we see a lot of negative things happen in our life, we have to go back and say, where does that come from? I know sometimes we think about, I'm in the same situation with a different person, right? A different type of relationship, but the same situations are showing up, or a different job, but the same problems are happening with coworkers, or the same problems are happening with my finances. And it all is because we're attracting what we are at that moment. But the good thing about that and the power of positive thinking is that you're in control of how happy you feel in your life. You're in control of what you see in your life. Perception is huge. And so we're very much in control of what we see in the world around us. So if you see the world as everything works out in my favor, or if you see the world as opportunities are always coming to me, then you'll recognize what was already there that you may not have paid attention to. So in being kind to ourselves, we also have to make sure that we take control over our circumstances. So with that point, in taking control over our circumstances, it's fine for us to be kind to ourselves and say, I'm going to be in a space of happiness. But we have to look at the situations that we're in, the circumstances that surround us, and determine how we can adjust those to reach the goal that we have. And the other thing with that is to adjust those daily habits that we do to better align with what our goal is. So it's important for us to have a goal for our lives, for our love life, for our finances, for our career, for our business, for every area of our life, because we want to be happy in all aspects of our life. And knowing that you're in control and you have the power, you have the ultimate power to create whatever life that you want. And it starts with how you feel about the life that you currently have, and adjusting the daily habits that you do to align with the goals that you have for the life that you desire for yourself. So it's very important for us to stay in a space of positive thinking, to be in a growth mindset space, so that we're not in a space where we're stagnant. We're not in a space where we are pitiful and, we are just on the hamster wheel talking about the same things that aren't working for us. But we're in a space of taking control of our circumstances and making different choices, creating the space that we need to be happy. So if you need to change some things in your house, if you need to change some people that you spend time with or that you surround yourself with, even if you need to change the way you spend money because you need to save so that you can move to the area you want to be in, whatever it may be, know that you are in control of the happiness that you have. And so if you don't feel happy or you don't feel in control, adjust your daily habits so that you can take control of your circumstances. And for some of us, it may be adding in some exercise because we're not happy with the way our body looks, or taking away some of the calories that we eat every day because we're not happy with the way our body looks, or saving some of the money that we spend, helping other people, or buying things that we don't really need so that we can take those trips or visit those friends or invest or start a business or whatever it is that you feel would make you happy. But the most important thing is to be kind to yourself and understand that you are always in control to take action and adjust those daily habits so that you can see a different outcome. And so I think that it's very important for us as women to recognize that even if we are in the hustle and bustle of our daily lives, even if we're mid-career or we have, children that we're raising, families that we're raising, and we feel like there is no way to get out of this situation, to know that you have that power and that control to change what isn't working for you, and to be happy that you do have the opportunity when you wake up in the morning to make a different decision. A friend and I were talking about the other day, waking up earlier so that you do have more time to plan in a space that's quiet, in a space that's not pulling you in 15 different directions. Because once life starts during the day, we all know that we're pulled in mommy mode, we're pulled in boss employee mode, we're pulled in friend or associate mode, and all of these different directions that pull us. And we don't get the time or the space to sit down and really say, what makes me happy now and what will make me happy later. So it's very important to take that time for yourself, even if it is getting up early in the morning and sacrificing an extra hour of sleep so that you can have the peace and the time to recognize, what can I adjust in my life to bring the happiness that I desire? And what does happiness look like to me? And what am I willing to do to change those circumstances so that I can be happy? So as we talk about Queen Talk and adjusting our crown and really manifesting the life that we want, it all comes back down to the action that we take. But we aren't going to take any action if we don't see any result, right? If there's no result on the other end, we're not going to take any action because it doesn't seem like it's worth it. But it's definitely worth it for you if it's attached to your happiness. And so it's important to recognize what your happiness looks like to you. So taking that time to journal and to meditate and talk to a good friend who's a trusted friend that can say, hey, I've heard you talk about X, Y, and Z for 10 years. You always wanted to go here or start this business or change your hair color or lose 10 pounds, gain 10 pounds. Why don't we work on that? Why don't we start working towards what we know is in our heart to do? Because we're going to forever be in conflict if we aren't working towards what our heart is telling us is meant for us. Right? So we have to align our heart chakra and be grounded, but also be open, have our heart open to receive the things that we desire for ourselves. And some of us are not open because we're so busy with life that we haven't taken time to really recognize where the power really lies. And the bottom line to everything that I'm saying today is that the power lies with you to be happy. You have complete and utter control over how happy you are. And if there are people or things or spaces that don't make you happy, change them. Adjust those circumstances to change them and make yourself happy. And recognize that you always have the support that you need. You have me here at theveronicamichelle.com and in our Live in Action Facebook group to support you. You're always free to come and mix and mingle with women who are doing exactly what you want to do. And that is take control of their lives and live it exactly how they want to live. And if it means that we shake some things up to be happy, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with shaking things up so you find your happiness and your peace while you're here on earth. So I am Coach V. This is Adjust the Crown. You are here on Friday for Queen Talk Fridays, and I'm so glad that you joined me. I hope that these few tips that we went over are going to be able to support you throughout your week, throughout your weekend in taking action so that you truly have control over your own happiness. And so I'll just recap the 3 tips that I went over. Number 1 being to be kind to yourself. Number 2 being to take control over your own circumstances. And number 3 being to adjust your daily habits to align with your goals. So recognize what it is that will make you happy. Be kind to yourself that it isn't happening yet or that it hasn't completely happened the way that you want it to. And then take control over all of the circumstances and situations that are in your life so that you can then make adjustments to your daily habits and be able to align those with your goals. So I thank you so much for being here. Please like, comment, and share. Let me know if this resonates with you, if there's anything that you'd like to hear us discuss, or if you'd like to be in discussion with us on Fridays. Feel free to drop a comment and let us know. And again, this is Coach V of theveronicamichelle.com. I'm glad that you're here or you're catching the replay, and I will see you right here next Friday at 12 o'clock noon. See you later.